In today's video, I take a 1,000 kilometer sleeper train in Sweden to the far north, 13 hours in a first-class bedroom with a dining car and some spectacular scenery. This is one of Sweden's best railway trips and not to be missed. I'll be keeping track of my expenses with Wise, who are offering a fee-free transfer up to £500 or a free travel card, only when using my link. Come for the luxury sleeper berth with ensuite shower, stay for the food, highlights, and some of the most stunning views on a perfect early summer day in Sweden's Norrland. We're on train 92 from Stockholm to Luleå, taking an inland route due to engineering works. It's going to make for a great trip. Let's go. And welcome to Stockholm Central station in the middle of the city. This is Sweden's largest and busiest station and opened in 1871. The station gets its distinctive current appearance from the main hall, which was added in 1928. On the outside, there's an eye-catching statue of Nils Ericsson, one of Sweden's greatest engineers, who was responsible for much of the kingdom's original railway construction. But eagle-eyed tourists will spot something else on the outside of the station, an apparently little-used southern entrance with a crown on top. This is the royal entrance, still in occasional use when the Swedish royals travel by train. I, however, have to enter via the main entrance. I've always loved this station, especially the modern addition of mood lighting and the barrel vaulted roof. This is still one of my favourite stations in Scandinavia. Now, there is a lounge here operated by the national railway operator SJ, which I can in theory use with my ticket, but it's actually closed on Saturdays.
So the lounge being closed means I'm left to my own devices, but that might be a blessing in disguise because I've just seen something beautiful on one of the platforms here.
This beautiful orange train is the X21-9 multiple unit operated by FSVJ, a railway museum here in Sweden. It's running an excursion today. I really should get on one of these.
So even though there's a very posh McDonald's here and a really pleasant food court, I really want to eat on board the train. There is just something very civilized about the dining car on board a European train. But I am going to need some snacks, and I've got a couple of toiletries to pick up for the train, so it's downstairs to the co-op for that.
I managed to pick up these groceries and the toiletries with ease. I used my Wise card, and of course there's no worries about whether this would be accepted or not. It is a regular Visa card and it's accepted in over 160 countries worldwide. Our train arrives from the sidings. Tonight we'll be hauled by an RC6 locomotive capable of 160 km per hour, hauling 10 carriages, 4 sleepers, 3 couchettes, 2 standard seating cars and a bistro diner. National operator SJ, who run this train, have no booking offices left anymore, so you need to buy your ticket online. I'm in a first-class ensuite sleeper. The fare, 2,249 Swedish crowns, about £175 sterling.
So here we are, my sleeper train has arrived. It's going to take me up to Swedish Lapland, over 13 hours of travel on this thing. And now I've just got to find where my berth is. I'm in car 24 this evening.
Look at the size of this accessible berth. Now, my berth isn't as big as this, but it's still a reasonable size, and is surprisingly, given the nearly 10 p.m. departure, set up for seated mode. I expect the attendant has made up the top bunk for me to fold down myself later.
Well, here we are, berth number 10. Car number 24 on train 92 up to Luleå. So before we set off, I want to talk to you a bit more about Wise and how it's revolutionised how I treat my money when I travel abroad.
As I've mentioned, Wise is really widely accepted, so on this trip I was able to use it to buy my very expensive Airport Express ticket ouch, as well as draw out a little cash in case I needed some at my destination.
One thing I personally love about using Wise is it's such a great way to keep track of your spending when you go abroad. Now, I travel dozens of times a year. I'm away about a third of the year most years, so that's an awful lot of travel expenses, and having them all in one pot is really convenient for me. It just acts as a single pot for everything that I spend when I'm abroad. It's easy to see what I've spent, how and where, and I can calculate the cost of each trip easily when I'm back.
What really helps with that is that Wise always uses the mid-market exchange rate to be fair and transparent when converting prices back to sterling.
And finally, I do love that Wise isn't a bank. The money's all protected, but they don't speculate with your money. There are no hidden monthly fees, just a fair exchange rate. You top it up and you go. And unlike credit cards, there's no nasty bill lurking at the end of every month. You simply top up and go. It's a pay-as-you-go card. It is absolutely perfect if you're on a little trip like this.
Sign up now for Wise and get your card using my link, and if you do so, Wise are offering a fee-free transfer up to £500 or a free travel card only when using my link. What are you waiting for?
So it's about 20 minutes until we leave Stockholm. Now, I would give you a room tour now, but I am starving and I'm going to head a few carriages down to see if the dining car is open.
En route to the Bistro, let's take a look at the ordinary sleepers. They're about half the price of the solo occupancy first class sleeper I'm in, and you will be sharing with up to 2 strangers. Cheaper still is the couchette, sharing with up to 5 other people. Now, it's a bit tight in here if it's full. The cheapest tickets of all are in the ordinary seated car. This is a second-class car used mostly by local travellers on shorter journeys, and I really don't recommend overnighting in a seat if you can help it. I've been there, done it, and got this sweaty t-shirt. And finally, we're here in our 80s era Bistro car, which is open until 11 p.m. As this train leaves near 10 p.m, there's not a huge amount of demand, which suits me, although the full range of food wasn't on display. I used my Wise card, again, to pay for a cider and a hot reindeer and potatoes meal. Now, Wise might give you a fair exchange rate, but it can't make travelling in Sweden any cheaper. That set me back about £15. Well, I suppose I'm a sucker for eating on trains. We leave Stockholm bang on time at 21:55 with 1,000 kilometres of railway between us and Luleå. Now, I've had reindeer before in Finland a few times in the form of a steak, but this, I've got to say, is something a bit different. The food wasn't too bad for microwaved fare, and I'm enjoying the vibe in the dining car. There's been a hockey game in Stockholm and some fans are heading back north. The diner is so retro, by the way, and has pictures of native Swedish fauna on the corridor walls, including my dinner. Sorry. The ordinary sleepers, without the ensuite, have additional baggage storage in the corridor, plus a communal shower, which is accessed by a keycard in each room. And with that, we're well on our way up north. Now is the moment you've been waiting for. This is a first-class sleeper with ensuite shower. I'm about to give you the room tour. What do you get for your money if you buy the best ticket on this train? If you're in here on your own, you won't be short of room, with the exception of one aspect I'll get to later. The seat cushions are pretty firm, but still comfortable. And there's a handy flip-down seat for changing in or out of your clothes, which is a nice feature to have. Folding down the top bunk is easy. There's a guide of how to do it on the wall, and all you need to do is pop out these little buttons to support the bed, unlock the folding mechanism with the handle, and there you go, dead easy. Both beds come with access to reading lights and charge sockets, and there's a luxurious 4 coat hanging hooks between a maximum of 2 people. Also, a great and often asked for feature on sleeper trains, the ability to lock the door from the outside. Now, I never feel like my things are unsafe, but some people might, and having this function is reassuring. There's also a blind and a curtain, which is very useful on a trip like tonight's, where the sun will rise at, wait for it, 2:47 a.m. The ensuite is small but perfectly formed and has a shower. Towels are provided, as is soap, but as I did earlier, I do recommend getting your own shampoo. I always bring some on sleeper trains with showers. We wind our way north, and with the light outside still not having fully gone away, even after 11 p.m.
And that's me just about done for the evening. Let's see if I can get this ladder to work and whether I can actually get into my bed.
Well, I did manage it, but I've got to say getting up on this ladder is really tight. There's almost no room for you to even stand on the bottom rung.
I'm hoping for a good 6 or 7 hours sleep. We're not due to arrive at our destination until nearly midday tomorrow, so it should be a nice long morning on the train. Good night.
This is Vonus, where we've rejoined the main line following our diversion. It's a beautiful morning in Norrland. This region is heavily forested, and that is a lot of wood.
If you take the top bunk on a sleeper train, you normally find that you feel the movement a bit more, but it was absolutely fine. But I think it helped that I was quite tired. I'm fresh, showered, got myself together, and I'm about to head to the dining car. Hopefully I'm going to forage some breakfast there.
The scenery outside really reminds me of parts of America, or perhaps, should I say, America reminds me of northern Sweden. Now, a lot of European architecture was exported to the States with immigration. The view from the rear of the train is quite spectacular, and I do like how you can easily see the curves and gradients of this challenging and remote railway.
Tell you what, I am dying for a coffee.
Breakfast is a pretty simple affair. For me, it's just a refill coffee, a small sandwich, and muesli and yogurt. it's just about time to total my expenses. I've paid for a train ticket, toiletries, snacks and drinks, dinner and breakfast, and even using the toilet at Stockholm Station. My total spent, according to Wise, £220. Not bad, and I'll only do this journey once for the experience. I've really enjoyed it. Do you think it's money well spent?
Every time I do a long distance train journey to somewhere pretty remote, it really makes me think about how difficult it must have been to build the line in the first place. This is a whole lot of nothing up here in the north of Sweden. We just passed a town that had a petrol station that had only one pump, and that gives you an idea of the sort of place we're in at the minute. It's really beautiful. So we're just coming into Boden now, which is the third last stop. We're about an hour away from the end of the line, and this will actually be a service stop. We stop here for about 15 minutes, so it's a good opportunity to put our feet on the ground.
Now this might just be the most lethal railway platform I've seen.
So this is Boden, and a beautiful morning here in Lapland. The locomotive is about to run round the train here because we actually need to come out of the station the same way that we went in, on a facing junction. Hoping if we can head to the back of the train, which is now the front, we can see something quite cool.
And we're off on the final leg. These flags are the Pride flag. Boden was preparing for its annual Pride festival, and the Sami flag, representing one of northern Sweden's indigenous people. It's just a short ride now to Luleå, less than an hour, and there's time to reflect on the trip. It's been over 13 hours of travelling in comfort and style. SJ still does excellent sleeper trains, and I really like they've kept the Bistro car on board. I wish more European sleeper trains could justify a dining facility, and I wish some of the top classes of travel were a bit more affordable. I do think the shared sleepers and couchettes here are great value, but as I film, I usually take solo occupancy to avoid disturbing anybody else, and to show you what you'll get if you spend just a little more. Let me know if you've taken this train, or perhaps this video has inspired you to. And here we are, the central station here in Luleå, bang on time in the city centre. And I'm the furthest north by train I've been since I did Sweden's other iconic sleeper, the Arctic Circle sleeper to Narvik, which crosses into Norway. Sign up for Wise and get your card using my link. If you do so, Wise are offering a fee-free transfer of up to £500 or a free travel card only when using my link. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.